Good morning. I'm Karen Curtis, and welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs, here live on our YouTube channel.
Loving it.
Yep, me too. We're here live every Sunday at 11 a.m. on our HOA, Condo and HOA YouTube channel. I'm Karen Curtis, and I'm here again today with Eric Glazer. He is a board-certified attorney by the Florida Bar in condominium and plan development law, and he has a firm with attorneys in Fort Lauderdale and in Orlando, and we're here each week to answer all your questions about anything condo or HOA related. It's free legal advice. Free legal advice. So
where do you get that?
Nowhere.
Right? Nowhere.
You've been doing it forever. Yeah. And it's whatever drives you crazy from 1 minute to the next. If you're in a community association, he's going to sort it out for you. And we'd love to get the phone line. Yes, we have a phone line and our chat box going. No matter where you're on the state, the country, the world, we're still international. The number to call, you just dial 717-GLAZER-8.
That's a great new phone number, no?
I love it.
717-GLAZER-8?
Yeah, that works out to 717-452-9378. Right. 717-452-9378. You dial it, it asks you your name and what you want to ask, and you'll see how it works once you get on the air, but it's really cool.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're a fan of the show, don't forget to subscribe to two things. Number one, you got to subscribe to the Condo Craze and HOA's channel on YouTube, where you don't have to just watch the show live. I can't tell you how many people are watching it as a podcast.
Right.
I mean, the numbers are pretty fantastic. You can watch it at your convenience. And also, don't forget to join our email list at condocrazeandhoas.com, because by joining each week, you're going to get emails about the show, our blog, our seminars, our newsletters. By the way, it's seminar time all over again. We're going to give the new dates coming up shortly and a lot more, so make sure to sign up for that. And, of course, like you said earlier, you can follow the show on Facebook, TikTok, Apple, Spotify. And we do a blog every single Monday morning at hoa-condoblog.com. Again, hoa-condoblog.com. Tomorrow's topic, a generator bill that is long overdue. Something I'm proud about. You'll have to read the column tomorrow.
I was going to say, whoa, I hope that's okay.
Interesting
if the
stuff.
Power goes out.
For those in an HOA, I promise. Interesting.
So how was Vegas?
Vegas, how bad can Las Vegas be, right?
Was it good?
It was fun. Yeah, those of you who don't know, I've been lucky. For the past 26 years, I've gone to Vegas for the Super Bowl with friends who know me since I'm 5 years old.
That's some good stuff.
Isn't that amazing? We're friends 50 years.
But you didn't go for the Super Bowl this year
This year couldn't go for the Super Bowl. You know why?
Why?
Because for the first time in history, because the Raiders now are in Vegas, the Super Bowl is in Vegas.
Aha.
So instead of a room being $200 a night, a room is $2,000 a night if you can get one. So we're like, you know what? Forget that. We don't want to go, and it was absolutely crazy. Anyway, so we went first week of playoffs. So instead of losing on betting one Super Bowl game, we lost on betting 6 different ones.
Brilliant.
Right, we gave a much bigger deposit to Vegas than we normally do. But it was a lot of fun. You should have just gone
on Super Bowl weekend and paid the $2,000.
It would have been cheaper. You're right. But, if you remember, since we're on YouTube, for those of you who want to learn a little bit about the history of the Vegas trip, do this on your own time and convenience. Go to YouTube. You're already on YouTube, right? And type in Eric Glazer, Boys Night Out. Okay? Eric Glazer, Boys Night Out. And you'll see how our Vegas trip wound up on the Steve Harvey Show.
Oh, man, that was so good.
That was cool. That was a lot of fun. So, again, Eric Glazer, Boys Night Out.
Without the wives.
Without the wives, and that's what it's about.
That's the key.
That's what it's about.
I remember.
Yeah, so you'll see.
Oh, my God.
But let's get back to the world of condos and HOAs for a moment. And if you think mandatory condo education for board members was controversial, you haven't heard anything yet. And let me explain. When a unit owner wants to sell their house, the buyer wants to make sure that the seller doesn't owe any money to the association.
Right.
Because if they buy it with money being owed, now they owe the money, right? So what does the buyer do? The buyer wants to get an Estoppel letter from the association, and it's the seller who normally pays for it. So again, that's called an Estoppel letter or Estoppel certificate.
Yeah.
And the question is, who's going to wind up paying for it? But you want to get it as the buyer so that you could sleep well.
Of course.
Knowing that you bought something with up-to-date assessments.
You have assumption of risk otherwise, and who does pay this estoppel letter? You're saying usually it's the seller.
Typically, it's the seller.
And how much does it cost?
Okay, so lot to talk about here, and let me tell you what it must contain, because it's important that people know this. It not only states how much is owed, because everybody thinks that's it. It just has to say how much is owed on the unit. It's actually a lot more than that.
Like liens?
If there's any
Lawsuits?
Assessments coming up, what the association's involved in, all types of things. It's very lengthy letter. It's not just a one-page or one-sentence thing that says the amount owed on this unit is this.
I see. It breaks it down.
It's paragraphs of stuff that you actually have to provide. Even tells you what's a parking space that comes with the unit, who the attorney is for the association, if there's any special assessments on the way, right?
Oh, wow, that's
any
good.
open violations on the unit, and if there's any rules regarding the transfer or sale of units, right? So there's a lot that goes in there.
Yeah, very
Now,
much.
to answer your question about who can charge what, it isn't easy. It's not an easy question to answer. So here's what the law currently says, all right? An association or its authorized agent, what does that mean? An authorized agent can be the attorney. Authorized agent can be the management company, right? So an association or their manager or the attorney can charge a reasonable fee for the preparation and delivery of an estoppel certificate, and it can't exceed $250 if on the date their certificate is issued, no delinquent amounts are owed to the association. However, if an estoppel certificate is requested on an expedited basis and delivered within 3 days, the association can charge another $100.
Oh, boy.
If a delinquent amount is owed to the association, if an additional amount is owed for a fee of $150, if any amount is owed. So you're talking about, if you add it up,
$500.
You do the math right.
Yeah.
It actually comes out to $500.
So that's how much it would cost to prepare it.
If those things fall into place. So it could be anywhere from between $250 to $500. It gets to $500 if there's anything actually owed on the unit, and oftentimes there is.
And the seller pays that.
And the seller is the one that's paying.
Is there a law that says the seller?
No, normally it's done by contract. The real estate contract says it.
Okay.
Now, the real truth of the estoppel matter is that management firms and law firms say, ka-ching, right? The second that they're asked to prepare an estoppel certificate, because the truth is, it's quick and easy money.
Of course it is. So, it sounds unfair a little bit, if it does. Yeah. To you, it does to me. It sounds unfair to Florida Senator Jonathan Martin as well, and Representative Persons Malika. Each of them have now filed bills which would preclude associations from charging for estoppel letters whatsoever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nothing, zero.
Huh. Well, that information should be available online anyway, right?
Some of it, yes. Yeah.
So the Senate bill is number 278, and it has resulted in a massive pushback from management companies and law firms alike, each of whom are the ones that normally get paid to prepare these estoppel certificates.
Right. They're not happy about Bill 278, right? It's going to take away a lot of money from management companies, potentially.
Sure.
Well, it depends how you look at it. Is management companies simply going to say, okay, we can't charge the seller of the unit, we're just going to dump that cost onto the association.
Oh, the
which
association.
can charge the association. So here are the arguments. So on the one hand, you got attorneys and management companies say that they deserve to get paid for preparing this estoppel certificate, because there's a lot of questions to answer, and there's potential liability if they get it wrong. Right? If I prepare an estoppel certificate and I make a mistake and say, no, there's nothing owed on the unit, and it turns out there's $10,000 owed on the unit, and Eric just wrote a letter that there's nothing owed, that $10,000's on me. Right? So there's potentially a lot of liability there. And, they take the position that only the seller of a home should pay for the estoppel certificate because only the seller needs it, right? And if you're going to prevent me from charging the seller for that estoppel certificate, I'm simply going to pass the cost on to the association as a general bill. So everybody in the building is going to pay for it. And is that fair to everybody in the building to pay for a estoppel certificate because you want to sell your unit? I'm not selling my unit. Why should I have to pay for your estoppel certificate?
But why would there be a bill in some sort of state government that would preclude an attorney from being able to garner fees for something they're doing?
The question is not should the association be able to garner the fees? The question is, should a seller of a unit, right, be hit with a $500 fee for simply telling their buyer how much is owed, right? That's a lot of freaking money to take from a seller.
So you can still bill it.
Right.
But it's that $500.
If you're going to tell me I can't bill the seller for it,
right.
Eric, you can't bill that seller. Manager company, you can't bill the seller that $500. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. It's too much money. The truth is, what are attorneys and management companies going to do? They're going to say, okay, I won't bill the seller, but I'm going to send a bill now to the association, a general bill. I want my $500.
But that $500 is yours, or is yours is above and beyond?
That $500 goes to the preparer of the estoppel certificate,
That's
which
why
is
I'm
going to be
asking,
the attorney.
how can they say you can't bill for your services?
You can bill it, right? But they want a limit on it, right? A cap on it, and again, for the reasons that it's unfair to a seller. Right, it's too much money to charge a seller $500 because he wants to sell their unit. And why should they get hit with a $500 fee simply to tell their new buyer, "Oh no, nothing's owed"?
It's like a hot potato. No one wants to pay.
Right, or $350 to tell the purchaser that nothing's owed. Isn't that a lot of money? Where the argument is, this is information.
Yes,
it should be readily available. You said it should probably be on the website.
Okay,
right?
So on the other hand, there's an argument that management companies have already paid to keep the ledgers of every owner,
right.
And it shouldn't take more than a few minutes to let someone know what a unit owner owes.
Right, that's
Therefore,
the
they shouldn't receive an extra penny for preparing an estoppel certificate. But you still have the onus of it if it's wrong.
Correct, right.
On you.
Right, correct.
So you need insurance.
That's the argument, right? The people that don't want to pay for an estoppel certificate. Wait a minute, you should have this information at your fingertips, management company. All you should do is be able to go to their ledger, print it out. What's the big deal? But attorneys are saying, wait a minute, management companies say, it's not just telling you what you owe. There's a lot more that goes into it to prepare it. And if we're wrong, we get stuck paying the bill. So, bottom line is, which side is right? Well, here's an update to the bill that's been filed. The bill has now been amended, and it seems that a compromise was actually reached. And instead of now not being able to charge anything like the bill originally came out as, or being able to, you can't charge up to $500, now the attorney or management company can charge up to $250.
Is that fair?
That's the math.
I have no frame of
Probably
reference.
a very reasonable compromise.
Okay. All right.
That's the idea. It doesn't. I don't think it took a brain surgeon to figure out that a 250 was probably between 0 and 500.
Let's go half.
250 is the mark, right?
I mean, so certainly seems as if management companies they're pretty big.
Yeah.
And they probably have a very powerful lobby in the Florida legislature.
Very, very powerful lobby. They're definitely a force to be reckoned with. And there was no way that this bill was going to pass with management companies no longer having the right to charge anything for an estoppel fee. That was never going to happen. On the other hand, however, someone's selling a unit, maybe they shouldn't be charged $500 for a law firm or management company telling that new buyer that the unit is paid in full or, owes no money to the association. So there was the fight. But what do our viewers think? Viewers, listeners, give us a call here in the studio, 717-GLAZER-8. Again, 717-GLAZER-8. That's 717-452-9378. Or drop us your question in the chat box on YouTube. We'll be back right after.
Very large management companies, and there are very small management companies. And I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that, where they are big enough to provide you with all of the back of the house services, the accounting, the infrastructure, the support systems, but small enough to be high touch.
We believe at Affinity that we do the 9 to 5 so that you don't have to do that.
Oh no! An unexpected leak! Jay, you know that's no way to solve a roof problem. Call Best Roofing. We solve roof problems.
We are DMI Paving and Seal Coating, Florida's parking lot experts. We specialize in asphalt paving and repair, including pothole repair, seal coating using JC7 or polytar, concrete curbs, ramps, and walkways, and striping and pavement marking, as well as ADA compliance. We service commercial properties, including homeowners associations, apartment communities, shopping malls, warehouses, stadiums and arenas, and more. Experience is worth more than anything in an industry like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6 locations. Let us bid on your next parking lot project. Visit us online at dmipavingandsealcoating.com.
Rimkus Consultants offer the professional expertise to help condominium and cooperative communities provide safe, compliant buildings for their tenants. We have more than 170 Florida licensed engineers and architects who are experienced with local regulations and can assist with Senate Bill 4D compliance. We can help with milestone structural inspections, capital expenditure evaluations, structural integrity reserve studies, and developer transition reports. Focusing on energy, resilience, maintainability, and sustainability, our experts can help with every phase of the building life cycle. For mitigation after a catastrophic event, building restoration, repair and remediation consulting, or Senate Bill 4D inspections, please visit rimkus.com.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs on our YouTube channel. Live, I'm Karen Curtis with attorney Eric Glazer. He's the man that knows everything about community association law. He's board certified in it. And you can ask a question in the chat box, or you can call us on our fantastic number, 717-GLAZER-8, 717-GLAZER with a Z8. And we already have 10 calls and all kinds.
Robert Lisbon, by the way, our producer, tells us that we're blowing up the internet. And
We're
again, I
blowing-
just want to say this. I just said it before. This whole idea is Robert's. This whole thing, yeah.
So good.
Fantastic. Brilliant man over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
We couldn't do it without you.
Absolutely. Rob, tell us who our first caller is.
We have Glenn Martin from Vero Beach.
Glenn Martin.
Glenn, how are you,
Vero
Glenn?
Beach.
Hello.
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
Good. The question I have is in our association is we have a sign out there that says private community. We don't have any gates. Is that still considered under Florida law like a no trespassing sign, or do we have to do something else?
No, well, that doesn't seem like a no trespassing sign to me. There's very specific things that have to be in your no trespassing sign. For example,
No
I actually have
trespassing.
one in my window of my law firm.
I saw that when I walked in
that
today.
the city of Hollywood made me put up.
Really?
If you want to be able to actually arrest people for trespassing, they have to have a very specific warning that the police can give you the sign, and that's how I got it. And if people won't leave when you instruct them to leave, now they can be arrested for no
Violators
trespassing.
will be
Correct.
prosecuted, is what it says. I see.
It's basically they got to get a warning in advance. Okay?
Okay. So, yeah, that's a question I was having with just one of the other board members, and I said, no, it's not considered no trespassing, but
Right.
then they're saying it is. So I just wanted to deal with that.
You know what? That brings me to,
right.
Sometimes
Thank you,
viewers ask
Glenn.
questions, and it just makes me think of other things. Sometimes you'll have communities in Florida, very interesting, where it's a guard gate, okay? Now, even if a guard gate is there, right, it means nothing.
Uh-huh.
That a person can go through the guard gate, right? Guard gate can stop them, but still the guard gate has to let them in if the streets in the community are city streets. In other words, if the city pays for the repaving of those streets, that means it's open to all the taxpayers, right? And even though there's a guard gate can't prevent cars from coming in, Okay, so that's very, very common in Florida. Now, where the community pays for its own roads and the pavement and painting and all of that, then the community has the right to put up that guard gate and say, okay, we're a private community.
I see.
But if you're not paying for the roads and you're having the city, the municipality pay for the painting and pavement of the roads, that is, I don't care what you think it is, it's not a private community.
I can tell you, briny breezes.
Briny breezes.
It's one of those areas. It's a mess.
That's a whole other issue where those
Oh.
people are offered hundreds of millions and the people that don't want to sell out to developers. Amazing. Who else we got, Rob?
All right, thank you.
You
Thanks,
got it.
Glenn.
James Mill. Hang on one second. There you go.
James, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Where you calling from, James?
Pahokee, Florida.
Pahokee, all
Pahokee.
right.
Okay. Little difficult to hear you. But
How cold is it in Pahokee this morning?
53 right now.
53.
I can't hear him.
He's
so well.
overmodulated. Back off your
I
phone.
I don't speak Pahokee.
Oh, stop
So
it.
I'm going to turn the speaker off here. How about that?
Yeah.
how can we help you?
Okay, can we get like a second so I can give you some background on this?
Background.
It'll take me just a few seconds.
Quickly.
Okay,
Yeah, we got to talk fast.
okay. Our association has got 22 single-story units in it.
Association.
they're located-
22
single-story
single-story
units.
units. Okay, 22 single-story
Sorry?
units. Go ahead.
Keep going.
Yeah. Okay, last year, our insurance went from $23,000 to $35,000. I mean, it was a 50% increase.
That's
Had to
everyone.
raise the monthly assessment
Right.
$50 a month just to cover that.
Right.
This year, right now, we just got the policy in and went from that $35,000 to $62,000, almost doubled.
Right. Sure.
That would require another $100 a month, and everybody is screaming.
Yep. Okay.
Well, okay, out of these 22 units, only 8 of them have like a bona fide mortgage,
Yeah.
which probably requires insurance.
Yep.
The other 14 are owned outright, and they've all expressed that they would just as soon drop the insurance and go without.
Yeah,
They can.
I hear you.
And they
well,
can.
So I will tell you. I'm going to answer your question. And this is being debated right now among the attorneys who are board certified in this area. I can tell you the way I look at it. The condo statute, when it comes to insurance, is written so poorly. It says that the director shall use their best efforts to obtain insurance.
Right.
What the hell does best efforts mean, right? Why not just say...
It's what I do every day,
Yeah,
Eric.
right? I mean,
It's my
yes
best
or no? Do we need insurance? That's what everybody wants to know. So there are, especially in 55 and over communities, especially where there's communities where people don't owe any mortgages. For example, I have a 30-unit community, and nobody, not one person in the 30 units, owes a mortgage. So they came over to me and said, look, we cannot afford these massive increases in insurance. None of us owe a mortgage. Screw the damn insurance companies. Let them, choke on their bill, right? So we don't want insurance anymore. Can we do that? And the statute says best efforts. You made your best efforts. These people can't afford it. They're
Right.
on a fixed income. I would say yes, you can. But now you got to look at the governing documents. The governing documents say you shall have insurance. So
Oh,
now how do
dear.
you get around the governing
Not
documents?
may, you shall.
You shall. So you got to amend your governing documents.
Okay.
So I said, look, if you want to amend your governing documents to completely remove the requirement to have insurance, right?
Yeah, but then someone sells and there's a new mortgage in there, then what?
Then it becomes a whole. You can only sell. It's a great point. You can now only sell to somebody
cash.
with cash as a cash buyer. So
But
you're definitely limiting your
Why
field.
are they charging people in Pahokee $65,000 for a one-story?
Because they can.
Pahokee is
Because
not
they
on the
can.
ocean.
Yeah, because they can. That's the bottom line. And look, I'm not saying I'm a fan of the insurance companies, but we got to be honest about it. Over the last how many years now has Florida gotten slammed with one storm or another?
Yeah,
it's
everyone.
like every single year.
Billions of
Billions
dollars.
and billions of dollars. So, who else we got, Rob?
Let's go to Linda. Hang on one second for Linda.
Ocean. Yeah.
Hey, Linda.
Oh, there's me. Linda.
Linda, you got to lower your radio.
Yeah, or whatever.
Linda, you there?
My TV?
Yeah, you're good. Or your TV, yeah. No more radio.
Oh, right.
Okay. Well, I just moved in another location of the house away from the YouTube. Is that okay?
That's great. You're
good.
fine.
Good.
How can we help?
Hi, yeah, this is Linda, and I'm a board member, and we currently have some of our residents that are playing pickleball on a part of a parking lot, a roadway that's not used anymore for a roadway. And the association, we're kind of concerned as board members about the liability.
Where do you live?
I think we have liability. Huh?
Where do you live?
We live in Boynton Beach.
Okay.
Boynton Beach, Florida.
Yep.
And so we have liability insurance, and I assume that our general liability insurance would cover anybody. They have them sign some kind of a paper saying that should they twist their ankle, they're not going to hold anybody liable, which I know a piece of paper like that in a court I think means nothing, but I just wanted to ask your opinion.
Well, it might. What are you worried about? It used to be a road. Are you worrying about, like, if someone gets hit by a car playing there, something like that?
No. I think they're worried about if somebody, it's not a professional pickleball area. It's just a pavement. It's not professional, and it's Mickey Ficky pickleball. People are happy. We have so many people here in our community, over 55 communities. So many people are happy. And there's probably like 20 or 40 people that want to play, but
right.
I think the concern
how many homes are there in the community?
Why should 840 people
be
liable for 40 people?
So, but you have pickleball courts you've already installed and changed your tennis courts to pickleball?
No.
Why don't you just do that?
Right. Why don't you spend some money and make it a nice court?
Yeah, that's what we did at our condo association. They put in pickleball courts.
I think they will eventually in the future, but right
if they
now,
get a big suit,
the insurance and the assessments and the problems that we have.
It's not that expensive. You're like repaint the lines.
Do that now.
I haven't seen the releases that you're requiring people to sign. I have no idea if they're good or not. If it's drafted the right way, yes, it may prevent you from getting from being exposed to liability. But just remember, you can always get sued even if they signed the release. Right? There's a difference in getting sued and the person having the ability to win. But nothing could stop you from being sued even if the person signed.
Can they sue because they didn't build a pickleball court?
Right.
And that they were forced to play in the street?
That I don't know if there's any requirement, right, to build a court, but it's I'd be concerned if you're letting people play in an area that they potentially can get hurt in playing at. Yeah, that's and not only that, hang out 1 second, hold on. The one area of the law that, remember, directors can get sued individually if you show lack of regard for personal safety.
That's right. If someone says we might get injured out here in this pickleball court, and then you don't do anything about it, and then they do get injured, it's on you.
It's on
the board.
Directors individually in their individual capacity. That's what I would be worried about. Yeah, you know what? Maybe your release says you're releasing the association.
Yeah, but what about you?
Guess what I'd be concerned about? Your release better say you're releasing every single member of the board in their individual capacity as well. That's the best advice we can give out today, believe me.
Yeah, right.
That's a pretty important phone call.
By the way, I just want to say, if you're a member of a board, you just got elected. Eric teaches all of this in his courses. The February schedule is out.
Best time to talk about it.
You're going to be all over the map. So if you're like this, what was her name? I'm sorry. Betty, Barbara?
Yeah.
Linda. Sorry,
Linda.
from Boynton Beach. Then you want to go to one of these actually, they're excellent seminars. They start at 8:30 in the morning, and they're at the LNL Condo and HOA Expos in February on the 6th in Broward. The Signature Grand right off of 595.
Right here in Broward, February 6th, Broward, Signature Grand.
Thank you, Linda.
February 9th.
And I just got to tell you, I've been to the West Palm Beach one, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so you stole our thunder.
Bye-bye.
February 6th in Broward at the Signature Grand.
February 9th at the Tampa Convention Center.
And just like Linda said, we're going to be back in Palm Beach February 13th at the Palm Beach Convention Center. And just to remind everybody, if you don't get certified within 90 days, of getting on the board, you're automatically off the board.
Even if you sign that affidavit?
Now if you sign the affidavit, so far you're good.
Okay.
But this is going to be the year. I'm telling you, this is going to be the year where no more signing that dumb affidavit.
Good.
You will, I'm going to go on record now and saying, it's going to happen. This will be the year that you're going to have to go for mandatory board certification.
It's free. You learn
and you
something.
know what? The people that are on board so far are overwhelmingly in favor of it. They want to learn.
Yes,
so
they do.
I think it's going to be great.
Linda probably is going to come back to this one. So, by the way, you can go to register at the website, www, that would be World Wide Web, not the other internet, condocrazeandhways.com. Can we also put that on the YouTube channel?
Yeah,
oh, yeah. We'll
can,
put that up on the
absolutely.
YouTube channel for you as well.
So make sure to register. The seats fill up fast.
I mean,
again
you teach
at
so many different
condocrazeandhways.com. Well, and that's why it fills up, Karen.
There's new safety inspection and reserve funding laws, importance of the from time to time language, official records, different types of documents that govern your community service and emotional support animals. Huge one there. Also collections, manager responsibilities, a lot more Estoppel letter stuff probably.
We'll talk about that. All the pending legislation we're going to talk about as well.
And you serve food. It's free. It's all free. And you get to meet Eric.
Exactly. So
and
we
you
really
leave
look forward.
wiser and you get a frameable certificate.
Yes, exactly. So we've done it to about 25,000 people now.
You invented
across
it.
the state. So we have a lot of fun. Look forward to seeing everybody. Let's take our bottom of the hour break. Call in 717 Glazer 8 again 717 Glazer 8. We'll be back.
The future of fiber is here. QXC Communications is a fiber network engineering firm based in Boca Raton. We build fiber networks that deliver high-speed internet, Wi-Fi, HDTV, and voice services, primarily to Florida's condominium communities. QXC's AON architecture is the industry's best practice and a game changer for our customers. We run 2 dedicated fibers to each unit. No splitters, no cables. So, every resident gets uninterrupted blazing fast speed and military-grade data security. Our Wi-Fi 6 network deployment powers performance on multiple devices with no dead zones. And the QXC TV app makes everyday programming access a breeze with 3-day rewind and optional cloud DVR. QXC AON Fiber is where the industry is heading. Get connected today.
Is your condominium or HOA in need of accounting services? Look no further. Gerstle, Rosen & Goldenberg is one of South Florida's largest accounting and auditing firms, as recognized by the South Florida Business Journal, and is one of the few accounting firms uniquely specialized to provide accounting services to their growing condominium and homeowner association clientele throughout Florida. With primary offices in Aventura and Boca Raton, satellite offices in Naples and Orlando, and a professional staff of 65, Gerstle, Rosen & Goldenberg is prepared to meet the needs of any condominium or HOA in the state. The professionals at Gerstle, Rosen & Goldenberg also have experience working with timeshares, cooperatives, hotel condominiums, mixed-use buildings, and ancillary operations like restaurants, spas, and country clubs. Put their 25 years experience in your corner. Gerstle, Rosen & Goldenberg, 305-937-0116. That's 305-937-0116 or grgcpa.com.
Someday, you will need insurance. And for that day, you'll be glad you wrote down Insurco Insurance and Financial Services. Why? Because Insurco virtually insures everything. They're a full-line insurance agency that'll put together the best possible coverage and premium for almost anything. Need homeowners or condo insurance? Call Insurco. Need auto or motorcycle insurance? Call Insurco. How about golf cart insurance or trailer and RV insurance? Just call Insurco for a free quote. They're open every day. From renters insurance, officers and directors insurance, and personal liability umbrellas to all types of business insurance, boat insurance, cancer policies, life, health, and annuities. All you need is Insurco. Get a free quote. They service Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Speak English and Spanish. Insurco Insurance and Financial Services. It's the only name you need. Office at 14401 West Sunrise Boulevard in Sunrise, inside Edmore Chevrolet.
Call 954-846-1206. 954-846-1206. That's 954-846-1206.
All over the world, people have plumbing problems. These problems can be expensive and destructive to fix. Have you ever wondered if there was a way to take care of your plumbing problems without destruction and an outrageous price tag? Welcome to Pipelining Technologies, Inc., where we specialize in fixing your problems without demolition and minimum cutting by means of pipelining. Pipelining is the ability to take a pipe damaged by root intrusion or long-term deterioration and make it new. By means of inserting an epoxy-saturated liner into the pipe and allowing it to harden or cure, leaving behind a brand new pipe.
That sounds great. How can I get pipelining in my home, commercial building, or condominium?
Simply fill out our online contact form and a pipelining representative will get in touch with you in a timely fashion, or call us directly at 561-853-5463.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs here on our YouTube channel. We are stacked on the phones. If you're on the phones, we're getting to you. We also have lots of questions on the chat board. The number to call, though, is 717-GLAZER with a Z, 8.
You know what? Let's share this because it's really it's flattering. At the moment, we have dozens of people waiting to call in. How amazing is that?
I love
that. That is awesome, and that is very flattering. But there's also a lot of people writing in questions, and remember the topic of today was estoppel fees. Who should pay to write the estoppel letter? Should the seller that's selling the unit pay the money for the estoppel fee, or should the attorney or the management company send a bill to the entire association to pay the estoppel fee? Right? What's the right way of doing it? So let's see.
Which was $500. Now it's what, $250?
Could be up to $500. Right now. Pat writes in and says, so estoppel succeeds title insurance, meaning when you buy a house, when you buy a property, you get title insurance. So somebody, you want to make sure you're buying clean title. So 5 years down the line, if someone sues for an unpaid lien, right? You can hold up your title insurance policy and say, hey, insurance company, you got to pay this, right? Now, the question here is, well, suppose you you get an estoppel letter that shows you owe 0, right? And 2 years from now, you get sued by the association. Can you do the same thing and go to your title insurance company and say, hey, we were told nothing is owed? And the title insurance company will say, well, did you make sure before you bought the property that you got a document that says nothing is owed? Yes, here's my estoppel letter. Now the insurance company will have to pay what's claimed to be owed. But if you don't get that estoppel certificate, right, you're not going to get your title insurance policy. It's going to be a requirement of getting your title insurance policy, if that
regardless
makes sense.
of who pays for it.
Right, regardless of who pays for it. That's exactly
You still have to have it. It doesn't succeed it, though.
Exactly. And otherwise, you're not going to get your title policy. Confusing stuff. Okay, who do we got, Robert?
Let's see, we have...
So many to choose from. From which to choose.
Jim.
Jim?
Jim. How are you, Jim?
Where are you?
Hi.
Hi.
I live in Jupiter.
Ah.
I'm sorry, where?
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Condo or HOA?
I live in a townhome, but we have HOA, single family home and townhomes.
Okay. How can we help?
The question I have is, we just found out that from our annual meeting that all the roofs of the townhomes have to be replaced by the 1st of January in 2025. And the assessment is to,
it's right here.
I mean, it says each townhome $30,000.
Okay.
So I guess my question is how best to handle that. Do I pay it off up front? I don't know what the options are for the homeowners associations. This might be likely scenario is to assess each townhome $30,000.
Right. Okay. All right. So the question is, how should you best pay it off? Is that what you're asking me? It depends the options.
Basically, yes. Basically, yes.
Okay. It depends what options the association are giving out, right? And under Florida law, it's pretty interesting how this can work. Okay. Let's say it's pretty obvious that we have to fix the roofs, and it boils down to $30,000 per unit, right? What's the board's obligation? Does the board have to give everybody time to pay that $30,000? Nope. The board can say we're passing a $30,000 per home unit. It's due next month. Can the board do that? Yes. Nothing under Florida law that says you can't. Can the board say, you know what? Let's go to reverse. Can the board say we're going to take out a loan, right, and pay it back over a 10 or 12-year period? But you say, well, no, I don't want a loan on the books of the association for 10, 12 years. Let's just pay it off all in one shot now. But the board wants to borrow money. if there's nothing in the documents that prevents the board from borrowing money, there's no required unit owner vote, the board can do that. So the board has wide latitude here. Can the board take out a loan, right? And we know that that loan's going to draw interest, right? And the board has the right to do this. Say to unit owners, if you want to pay it back in one shot, no interest for you.
Yeah, we had that with
Right.
our new roof. You could
Right.
pay all at once, which
Right,
was like
with no
$2,200,
Right.
and we would save $100.
Right. Creates a bookkeeping
I
nightmare.
bet.
Bookkeeping nightmare.
They're talking about taking out a $5 million loan.
Right.
173 units apparently. And
Right.
a $5 million loan is one, I think, the option that they're looking at. They haven't formally decided. The assessment for us is going to happen, I think, perhaps around October.
Right.
So I don't know what they do with the $5 million loan. Is that going to increase our homeowners association dues for that?
Yes. Yeah. Or
it'll
it would increase your dues, again, depending upon how it's done.
This is all you have to get the new roof now.
Right, you got to
you
get
have
it.
to do
There's
it.
no way. Right, but is it going to increase the amount you pay every month?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Now, it might increase it by way of a special assessment, or the way some associations do it is whatever that loan amount is, they just put it in the budget. So it just makes your monthly assessments go up. There's so many different ways that this can be treated, but you might want to talk to the association's attorney, right? The board should certainly talk to the attorney about how it's done, or certainly get advice from your CPA.
Yes.
Okay? All right, who do we got, Robert? Next. Thanks for the
Jim,
call.
so I think, see, he's asking a question in the chat box. It's him. Jim, is it?
Oh, gotcha.
So if you've asked in the chat box and you're on the phone,
Yeah, just let us know.
let us know.
Right.
So we don't double
We don't
up.
go back to it, right? Who we got, Rob?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
My first time on this.
No
You got it.
problem.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the call.
Thank you.
You.
We got Rob? Marie. How are you, Marie?
Where do you live?
Marie, you there? Okay, keep going, Rob. Who's next?
Let's go to Gary.
Gary.
Gary. Where are you, Gary?
Gary, you there?
When you do come on, go ahead and tell us where you are and what you live in.
Hey, Gary.
Condo or HOA.
Okay.
How can we help you, Gary?
Yeah, hi, Barry, condo.
Oh, it's
live in
Barry.
Miami.
Gotcha. How can we help you?
Yes, the new law has a provision that if it passes, an association could get a line of credit to fund their CSRS reserves.
Oh, that's great.
I don't think
yeah.
it's a good idea.
Oh, so you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I think it's lousy.
Right. So you don't
Now, a
like the
person
idea
could get
of
line
a.
of credit.
So Barry, you don't like the idea of an association taking out loans to pay the large amounts of money that they're now going to owe to fund their reserve accounts and to make their repairs.
Well, I do like that idea, and I included that in my bill with mandatory board education to Senator Berman last year. I think it's an awesome idea,
Right.
and I think a line of credit would also be an awesome idea, and it would allow people to pay back that line of credit either in a lump sum or over a period of years, maybe 5 years. But here's the problem:
Yes.
it wasn't thought through. The problem is that in order to get a Freddie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, you have to have at least 10% of your budget, not a special assessment outside of your budget. 10% of your budget has to be funded with reserves,
Okay.
where it can be a lesser amount based on a reserve study. They need to work with Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Of course it should be allowed to be used. It's a terrific idea.
Right.
But what it means is anybody who uses this line of credit, and can be used for any budget through 2029,
Right.
say they use it for the next 5 years, no buyer is going to qualify for a Freddie Mac or Freddie Mae loan because it's outside of the budget.
Gotcha.
Just work with Freddie Mae and Freddie Mac and have that change so this gets counted. But
Sure.
it wasn't thought through. They have no idea what these rules are.
Barry,
None at all.
Barry, let me tell you what else is going to be a problem in terms of getting loans. Okay, and by the way, we are so late for our break, but okay,
We're gonna keep going for you.
Let me tell you what else is a problem, and really, everybody, bear really listen to this carefully. In order to get bank loans, right? And here's the problem with relying and saying, oh, don't worry, we can always take out a bank loan for that. As the amounts of money that you have to pay back each month go up, as insurance continues to go up, as that creates increases in the amounts of money that in terms of assessments that have to be paid to your association each and every month, as it goes up, you know what else goes up? Defaults.
Ah.
Right? The amount of people being in default with your association goes up as well. So let's say you wait too long to apply for a loan with a bank, right? The bank's going to say, well, wait a minute. What's the percentage of your community with assessments? And I can tell you that most banks, now they're so strict, if you're getting above 5% of your community, 5% of your community are delinquent, you're not getting a loan.
So it's a form of credit.
It's like doing a background check, correct? A credit check. So think about that, Barry. Here we are.
5%.
We're going to allow people to say, "Oh, don't worry, we'll take out a line of credit. We'll always be able to get a bank loan." I call BS on that, because once you get to 5%, you're not going to be able to get that bank loan. So how do you always prove that you're going to have the ability to get that bank loan? How do you, in good faith, prove that every year? You know, in terms of the bill, I don't know how it's going to be possible. But the bottom line is, what I'm trying to teach everybody today is, if you think that you're going to wait till the last second to take out that bank loan and make an application when over 5% of your community is already in default, forget it. You waited too long. You blew the time in order to make application,
or you'll
and
find
now you got big problems.
You'll find a bank to give it to you, and they're going to charge incredible interest
rates,
and you're
right.
really screwed. You're doubly screwed.
Barry, thank you for your call, like always, buddy. Really appreciate it. You make everybody think. Let me tell you that. Gotta take our final break of the hour. Keep the calls coming in. 717 Glazer 8.
Home or condo looking old, worn out, and in need of a fresh look? Then you need PD Painting to paint your property and make it look like new again. PD Painting will first properly prepare your home and condo, and then use only the highest quality paint products. After many years in the painting industry, PD Painting has achieved a reputation for always delivering a reliable and professional finish. PD Painting is fully licensed and insured and offers a 7 to 10-year warranty. Their technicians are expert craftsmen. Let PD Painting handle all the details, and then sit back and watch them restore your property and bring back that brand new look and feel. Need a service call? PD Painting will be there on the spot. Need financing? PD Painting can offer that too. Call PD Painting at 888-416-3204. Again, that's 888-416-3204. Go to the website pdpaintinginc.com. Need painting done in your home and community? Contact the experts at PD Painting.
This message is for anyone who has taken on the important responsibility of becoming an officer or director in a homeowner or condominium association. It is also for the management companies who work closely with these caring people to make sure things are done the right way. Hello, I'm Gil Pomar, South Florida Regional President for Center State Bank, now the second largest bank based in Florida. Our bank, Center State Bank, has an amazing team of professionals who are exclusively dedicated to the homeowner and condo association market. Your job is not easy. There are repairs and new projects that need financing. There are legal and social issues that need to be understood. There are also technology and servicing issues that your residents want to be improved. Why not choose a bank that knows this business backward and forward? Why not have a local banker who will meet with you face to face whenever it is convenient for you or your board? Center State Bank has over 2,000 associations as customers for a reason. Please give us a chance to earn your business. Call Terry Russo at 954-633-1666 to make it happen. Center State Bank is an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC.
Need an insurance evaluation, audit, or quotation for your condo association or homeowners association? If so, then you need to speak with our insurance experts at Mack & Waltz. We insure over 800 associations, and we are the clear leader in this marketplace. Mack & Waltz has been in business since 1989. We write insurance on billions of dollars of property values. We are an independent insurance agency representing insurance companies which specialize in condo and HOA insurance. The staff at Mac Waltz works closely with board members and property managers and regularly attends association meetings to help educate the association about their insurance policies. To learn more about how Mac Waltz can save you money and improve your insurance program, call now 954-640-6225 and ask for Greg Waltz. 954-640-6225. Mac Waltz Insurance Group. Let us protect your association. Welcome back to the final segment of Condo Craze and HOAs here on our YouTube channel, which we just love being live on YouTube. I'm Karen Curtis. This is attorney Eric Glazer. He's the one who will answer your burning questions about anything community association.
Yeah, in the few minutes we got left, Goldie just writes in an interesting one. What Broward agency can I report a resident who has a registered business using his condo address? Now, I don't think it matters if you're using your address as the business. If you're just registered with the state and using that home address for your business, for filing reasons, whatever. But this is a topic that's gotten
who isn't doing a business out of their house?
Right. It's evolved over the years. So a lot of declarations of condominiums, a lot of declarations of covenants have language in there that says you can't operate a business out of your home, right? And we all know that the world has certainly changed in the last 10, 15 years. We're all working at home, right? I'm working at home.
Well, since COVID, absolutely, yeah.
Right, but I've always worked at home.
I have an Etsy store coming out of my house.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't have a business license. I just pay a 1099
right.
tax.
Okay, but same thing. I don't pay any specific license to operate a business out of my home, but I do my work on the computer at home.
So I don't think that's a problem. But if you have a license, maybe, and it's registered to that address,
if what the case law has now said is, if what you're doing creates traffic, right? If it creates traffic, if you're taking up common element parking spaces for your business.
Like you're cutting hair.
Yeah, right. And if you're receiving packages and they're piling up in front of your door, now you're acting like a business. But if you're just working out of your home on the computer, you're not bothering anybody, then no, that's perfectly fine under the governing documents. Okay? Who do we got, Rob?
Let's go to John.
Hey, John.
I'm cutting hair.
Right. And if John, you got to lower your computer.
It's off. Yes, it's off.
Hey, John. How can we help?
Hey, Eric, Kara, good morning. Eric, two quick questions. Fidelity bonds and hearing committees, violations committees. Condo and HOA. The hearing committee, also known as violations committee, they can recommend the fine or kill the fine. Can they ask in that hearing? Can they ask questions, or must they remain silent?
No, I think they have. They can certainly ask questions. Absolutely. And their one goal, the committee's one goal, is to either uphold the fine, right? Uphold it or quash it completely. There is no, reduction in the fine. You can't go in there and ask for a reduction. Under the current statute, the way it's written is one or the other.
Okay, good. Okay, now with regard to fidelity bonds, must the management company carry a fidelity bond equal to or greater than the amount of yearly collections in a condo or HOA? Explain that to me.
No, the association, right? The association has to have employee theft coverage. Okay, employee theft coverage, which covers everybody who handles any money for the association. And it certainly means all of the officers and directors and management, right? And the amount of that insurance policy has to equal the maximum amount of money that the association will have on hand at any one given time. So, for example, and I've spoken about this before on the show, the numbers that that are going to be held by associations now in the bank are going to be huge, large, tremendously larger than they used to be. Why? Because they're doing incredibly large, expensive projects right now. Right. Roof repairs, building remodeling, the safety inspections, on and on. So there's an incredible amount of money and this makes people nervous, that they don't want their boards having access to all this money. They don't want the management company having access to all this money. Well, relax, because you have to talk to your insurance agent, but make sure that the policy that the building has, the association has, is up to date, and that it covers the maximum amount of money that will be on hand at any one given time.
It's like FDIC for your
Yes, but this is
for your
above and beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
only
you got to
insures, what,
talk to your
100,000?
agent. Yeah, right. That only the FDIC thinks up to $250.
Oh, it's up to $250.
You have to have a
Millions.
policy, right, that covers millions, potentially tens of millions.
By the way, there's a couple questions here that address the estoppel thing, and
Yes.
they're like, what if I paid for the estoppel,
Right.
and then the sale fell through, and so it's the same information, and they're making me pay again for the estoppel?
I forgot what the statute says, but no, if it's done within a certain amount of time,
Okay.
you don't have to pay for it again. I'll look at the statute.
Yeah, somebody
next
said
week.
they got charged twice because the
Yeah,
fell through.
I don't. No. If the sale falls through, I don't think it has to be done twice. I can look at the statute though. Okay. Who else we got, Rob? Take one more.
Yeah, let's go to Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
Jonathan, where are you?
Oh, Jonathan dropped.
Jonathan dropped.
Who do we got?
Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Steve? There he is. I hear you.
Yes.
Steve, how can we help?
Okay. Oh, okay. Condo in Palm Beach currently has surveillance cameras scattered throughout the property, and a homeowner's requesting us to make a tape or to give him a stick of one of the films. Is that legal?
No, you see, the association member has no right to go into the association's office and say, I want a copy of that tape. It's not as an official record. An official
isn't.
record, it's not, because official record is something that can be written. Only written records are official records. Now, however,
Oh,
okay, only written records are official records. Now, wait,
But
hold on.
they had to approve the material alteration.
Yeah, the cameras, yes, but no, he's asking if someone can get a copy of the videotape. That's
Yeah.
what I thought the question
Yeah.
was. Right.
Well, you approved to have them in there. Why wouldn't you have a right to have the video?
Two totally different things.
Okay.
People can't come in and just ask for copies of videos. And why it would be
subpoena?
That's a different
Okay.
story. Now, okay, let's say, for example, this happens all the time. Someone slips and falls on the property, right? And it's definitely 100% certain caught on that video camera, right? So the association routinely gets letters that's from an attorney that say, my client slipped and fell on the property. I am demanding that you preserve as the evidence any videotapes that would exist showing that my client fell and where they fell, etc. And you have to absolutely preserve that.
Okay.
I didn't say you have to automatically make a copy for the person. I said you have to preserve that because that's considered evidence, especially once that demand is
What
made.
if you say the camera wasn't working that day? We don't have it.
If you get subpoenaed and that's going to be your testimony under oath, that'll be
Okay.
your testimony. You know, they may wind up checking your cameras to make sure.
Ugh.
But if you destroy the document, right? If
Okay.
you destroy it, you could potentially get charged with spoliation of evidence, which means any burden is going to be used against you, right?
Yeah, but the video is going to be used against me.
I hear you, but if you destroy it, you know, and you're
Which is cheaper?
do not destroy.
Don't do it.
evidence. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that. Potentially a crime, I believe, too.
Oh, well, hello.
Yeah. You're telling everybody to destroy
No,
evidence
I'm-
on this show. That's what. Now,
They'll just call you.
I don't know her. Do not know. I don't know how she wound up in here. Anyway, that brings us to the end of another show, guys. Please know how much Karen and I are so flattered that
Yes.
people probably couldn't get their questions answered today. The phones are just so stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also have the chat box. We try
Yeah,
to hit
it's
those
great.
too.
Rob,
Yeah.
great job today.
They like
Okay?
the answer on the business from home. They were very thankful
Absolutely,
for that.
sure, yeah.
You answered a lot of great questions.
That's evolved
Yes.
over the years, right? As
Yes.
the internet got busier and busier, right?
COVID made us work from home.
Right, and working from home, right? So many different things. But that's the goal here, teach as much as we can. And we'll continue doing so. As a matter of fact, in terms of teaching, sign up for the seminars, right? They were all coming up in February.
That's right.
We'll be in Tampa, we'll be in Broward, we'll be in Palm Beach. Go to condocrazyandhoas.com to register. Have a wonderful, safe week. Oh, and of course, if you need legal help off the air.
Oh, they take your class online?
we are not offering an online class just yet.
Okay.
Not yet, okay? If you need legal help off the air, give Glazer and Sachs a call, 954-983-1112. Again, 954-983-1112. Have a wonderful,
Thank you.
healthy, safe week, everybody. We'll speak to you again next Sunday.